So this is the surprising part, is that sex causes men to lower their morals, lower their values, and break their own rules, right? In studies, when men's sexual attraction is activated through the viewing of sexy photos, they report being more likely to lie, cheat, or steal, and less likely to return money they had not earned. In other words, men get more into a survival mode. I don't know why, right? It's kind of interesting. In fact, now as you watch this video, train yourself in present moment awareness by simply noticing your breath as you're listening to me. Notice when I speak and notice when there is silence in between my words. But always be aware of your breath as you're watching this. All right? I'm going to be reminding you, don't fail, or else I'm closing the channel. You see, 95% of gay men have been with 15 or more partners in a year, compared to 15% of female lesbian, right? This shows you that for men, sex is more of an activity, a pleasurable physical activity, like a sport, right? Where you could play as long as somebody's in the area, you could say, hey, hop in, no pun intended. We need one more person to play 3-on-3. Where for women, it's a for women, sex is something that it's a ritual, that something that you don't do with everyone. This person has to have meaning for you, right? Almost like asking your friend to move, right? You don't ask anybody to move. You ask only people who you know to move. The same thing with sex, with women. Men, though, they'll ask anybody, yo, can you help me move? Can you help me move? Can you help me move? You see what I'm saying? It's not as selective. And women find that from their value system, they resent that, because it's kind of like, yo, like, you're fucking everything up. Like, I can't trust you. And you're right. You're totally right. I mean, in fact, we can't trust anybody. Let's just be honest with you, right? So yeah, for men, sex is more fun. Same sex couples reveal humans' true nature, right? But I don't want you to resent that. I want you to understand that that's the source of your powers, actually. Men's uncontrollable desire for sex. It's pretty much your powers. It's what allowed Cleopatra to control Mark Antony. It's what allowed a lot of the most famous seductresses to have power from behind the scenes, right? So don't resent men's nature about sex. It's because it's what gives you control over them. It's what validates you. It's the part of you, it's a part of men that they can't resist. The part of men that when you say, oh, Tyrone, stop it. It's the part that he can't stop touching you. It's the part that compels them to make a move on you. It's the part that allows your seductiveness to actually have power over him. It's the part that intoxicates you. You can't have both without the other, right? I don't want you to resent nature. I want you to accept nature and learn to roll with the punches, right? So that's one thing, is that men see sex as a fun activity, and that you shouldn't resent that over them, because that's your power that you have over them. Men have physical prowess, you have sexuality, right? Because for men, sexual desire is like a desire for food, but sexual, like a sexual food per se, right? Same circuits as desire for drugs or food. You use the same circuits for the desire for another woman. Sex is a craving. Do you know you're craving for multiple different types of foods, right? So for women to understand a man's desire to have sex with multiple women, let's understand our basic desire for wanting different types of food, wanting to have spicy food today and seafood tomorrow, right? That's pretty much how men see it. They desire to consume and they have a palette of different taste, right? Dicks are not racist. That's what I like to say. They also want variety. In fact, dicks are woke, because dicks are inclusive, equal opportunity for everyone, right? Humans are not, right? Oh my God, I don't like that, but I kind of agree with you. All right, you're not canceled today. Speaking of which, we have 20% off my course, The Psychological Game of Attraction, and 20% off my course, Natural Chemistry, starting today. All right, so use the coupon code. I think the coupon code is you'll see it, but I think the coupon code is new, or the coupon code is Alex. I don't know which one it is, but you'll see it on the screen right here. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, sex is a craving, a desire to consume similar to food. And the way to see men's desire for multiple sex partners without resentment is to see your desire for multiple food. Can you understand why it is you want seafood today and Mediterranean tomorrow? Right? It's a craving. It's the same thing with men. And unfortunately, just because you want seafood tomorrow doesn't mean the Indian food that we you had today. It doesn't mean that you don't like the Indian food. It doesn't mean that you're disrespecting the Indian food, but that you just have a variety of different tastes. Now, people, look, I'm just explaining how men think. I'm not justifying it. I'm explaining it. People are like, I'm ready to unsubscribe. Say that shit again. I swear to God. Right? I'm just explaining male nature. Not all men think like this, but I'm explaining the physical drive. I'm trying to for you to understand that physical drive through a metaphor that you could understand, right? It's your desire for multiple food. And you know that, imagine if your food got offended that you wanted another type of food. It's not that I don't like you, but I just want to try this type of food. That's how guys see it. You get what I'm saying? Because you see it, and it's to such a point that 69% of men have been to prostitutes, which means 85% of men, 85% of men have been to prostitutes, and 15%, which means 20% go consistently. In fact, the main reason why men go to prostitutes is to get oral sex. People, that's right. It's usually to get the sex that they're not getting at home. I mean, yeah. So yeah, that's one thing, right? So, and you don't see women going to prostitutes, right? Because women have sex and can have sex at any moment they want, right? And I felt that where I can have sex at any moment I want. My dick is completely drained, and I see women, they don't affect me as much because I'm like, man, I just had crazy shit, man. I don't want to have sex no more, right? And that's how women see it. Guys don't understand it because most guys never have enough sex to fully be satisfied and say, okay, I don't want no more. I've done everything. Where women could, if a woman wants to could fulfill her craziest fantasies, she could do it. Most men don't have that opportunity, right? And so that's why guys are just naturally more desperate because they just barely get some generally, right? So yeah, the next one. Put this right here. Sorry, people. All right, there you go. Okay. And this is a surprising one. Sex causes men to lower their values and morale. In fact, are you noticing your breath? Pay attention to your breath. Bring awareness to your breath. Right? As you watch this video, just bring awareness to your breath. Keep attention grounded in the moment by noticing a sensation that's going on right now. And that sensation is your breath. Right? Just keep aware of it. Don't let the outside world consume all of your attention. Keep some attention for within, or it's like saying always have something on the savings account. Always have some awareness rooted within you. By the way, people, we're having 20% off all of my online courses, specifically the psychological game of attraction. This course is natural chemistry. This course is a course specifically made for women who are in relationships and want to improve on the relationship they already have. It's 20% off, so it'll come down to you for 70 bucks, I believe. Right, 75, I don't know, right? But in this is a 5-week course where I will teach you all of the strategies to maintain a happy relationship. And this is pretty much based on the advice I've given and the feedback that I've gotten and based on research, okay? This is not just me being willy-nilly assuming. This is based on what I've seen. That's why I haven't made a marriage course, people, all right? I mean, you get what I'm saying? So this one's for women who are in relationships. This one is for women who are single. I will teach you the playbook that goes from the first time you meet to the 3rd month, right? Because usually somebody should love you by the 3rd month, all right? So this course will take you through that phase, and it will help you identify whether or not this person likes you, right? So we have 3 phases. The first one is we talk about the psychology of attraction. After that, we talk about the pre-honeymoon period when you start creating an interest, the honeymoon period where you solidify that interest, and the post-honeymoon period, which is naturally when people lose the game and when naturally most relationships end. But I will teach you, so you will learn to identify what part of the relationship you're in, either you're in the honeymoon period, post-honeymoon period, or the pre-honeymoon period, And each video, each section has a video specifically for that period. Honestly, it's a course that would it's like getting coached by me, right? 20% off. Click on the description down below, and if you don't like it, you could ask for your money back. 30-day money back guarantee. All right. Okay. I'll see you guys inside. So this is the surprising part: is that sex causes men to lower their morals, lower their values, and break their own rules, right? In studies, when men's sexual attraction is activated through the viewing of sexy photos, they report being more likely to lie, cheat, or steal, and less likely to return money they had not earned. In other words, men get more into a survival mode. I don't know why, right? It's kind of interesting. In fact, most likely it's because they're trying to guard what they have, right? They get more aggressive. And that aggression, I imagine, helps when you have a woman, right? Because if you're a guy and men are trying to take your woman and you're acting like a little bitch, that woman's going to be in danger just simply by being with you, and her bad choice of picking you, right? So yeah, so studies show that they lie, cheat, they cheat more. All the research shows that men are more attracted to and more likely to pursue women who are more vulnerable to sexual exploitation because of their youth, immaturity, or intoxication, right? And it's almost like they turn predatory, right? And that's insane. And this is why sometimes guys betray their friends for women. This is why men sometimes lie to their women, because for some reason, testosterone, the sexuality, the desire for sex, there's something in that just morally decays men, at least temporarily, from what the studies show. And women are like, oh yeah, exactly. They're corrupted. They're horrible. We must cancel them all, right? I'm not saying that's how most men are, but yeah, generally. So yeah, men see so other research shows that men are attracted. Oh yeah, so when and this explains a lot why men are attracted to vulnerable women. That's why men are attracted to women who need help. Men are attracted to are also a little bit turned off when a woman doesn't need them. It makes them, it pushes them. It pushes the men away, but a man, there's something about vulnerable women that men just find it attractive, right? It's almost like the ripeness in a fruit, where if it's nice and red, it looks ripe, right? Because evolutionarily speaking, the ripe fruits were the ones that were tasty and that provided nutritional value. The only reason why why we have some wired attraction to certain things is because it was rewarded in the past. So most likely, picking a woman who is vulnerable allowed the man to provide something that she needed, protection, in the exchange that she has her kid. So most likely it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe it's just most women were vulnerable because we needed each other, actually. When you were hunter-gatherers, me as a man needed a woman. I couldn't bear a kid by myself because I needed a hunt. I need a woman. And a woman couldn't bear her. There was no such thing as a single woman, as a single dad or a single mom back then. It just wasn't, right? So we all needed each other. So a man who's strong wasn't just a man who was independent. No. If he wanted a kid, being strong wasn't enough. He needed a woman, right? It's just the same thing, right? We all need each other. A man needs a woman, and the next thing that a woman needs a man, but the next most important person in a woman's life is her mom. Studies show that, because the mom provides care for the child when the mom can't take care of her because of work or something like that. So yeah, that's one thing, right? The next thing is that men see sex as an addictive activity compared to women. Men are more addicted to the activity of sex than women are. Studies show that, and they get more of a dopamine release when they have sex than women do, right? Because for men, it's just more than sex. Sex is an opaque screen that clouds humanity until they get what they want and interact with you. In other words, it's similar to when you have you know how people say never shop when you're hungry, right? It's a very similar thing, that when men tell men, if you like the girl, jack off, all right? Unload your bullets and then think of her. How do you still like her, or does the desire go away, right? And that's actually very true. when a man has his dick full of the life, right? He can't see you for what you are. And man doesn't know if he really likes you because he can't tell the difference if he's feeling lust or love. It's really hard to tell. It truly is. I mean, it's unbelievably difficult to tell, right? It'll fool you into thinking that you actually love the woman when in reality you don't. And it seems like a conscious act from a woman's point of view, right? Because that's all they see. They can only see what they see. You can only judge them by their actions, and it appears like actions of sex leads them to get turned off. But you're looking at it from a place where you're expecting guys to just want to use you, because a lot of the times it's just that they realize they don't like you. It's like when you order food and you order a crazy amount of food, and then you realize you ordered too much. You're like, yo, I was too hungry and I ordered too much. Or when you shop hungry, right? You can't do that because you'll buy too much. It's the same thing, right? You ladies can relate to that analogy, where man doesn't know if he likes you, so it's kind of like you gotta. So what do you gotta? So what are you saying? Are you saying that you gotta have sex with him and that it's something that benefits you to like? So well, of course you would say that. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you that a guy will not know if he really likes you unless he has sex, right? And the situation that women find themselves in, are you noticing your breath? Pay attention to the breath, all right? Is that they end up waiting a long time to have sex with a guy, which is fine. My problem is that they end up falling in love with the guy, and then they have sex with him thinking that the guy actually likes them. They have sex, and all of a sudden the guy realizes he doesn't like you. And then you're in love. You did it with him. That's why you did it. He can't find out if he hasn't gotten it off. And you might say, oh, well, why can't he just, load one off before he meets me? Because he hopes that this is the moment, right? So he's not going to go to you with no bullets in the chamber, because every time he sees you, he's hoping today's the day. But I can promise you that if he's with you, all of a sudden he goes to the bathroom, lets one off, and comes back, you might see a different person. And I don't blame them. I don't blame you for withholding it, and I don't blame him because we're a victim to our biology. I don't know if I like a woman unless I jack off and think about her or have sex, and now I realize it. So it's almost like, who's going to compromise here? I don't know. I'm just explaining how male nature is. So it's kind of like it's very hard for men to see you for what you are if he's looking at you and being distracted by sexuality. It's an opaque screen of cloud of emotion that clouds how he sees you. He can't see through the fog. It's very thick. So the next thing is that sex is so even though men are visual creatures, they usually, when they have an orgasm, they usually don't have an orgasm based on the situation that's going on in the moment. They usually need to imagine something in their minds. So even though he's with you, he needs to imagine something in his mind extra, or there's a mirror and he can see the mirror and interact with the visual image. But generally speaking, because think about it, when you're having sex, you don't see the whole panoramic 3D fucking from the top view like porn do. You don't, right? You usually have a POV where you're with them, blah, 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 right? But generally, guys need an imagination. Like, I've done that. Like, guys visualize a lot when they're having sex because guys they use their third eye, right? Which is their dick, right? They use their third eye to imagine things, and that's what turns them on, right? Visual image, studies show that visual image in the mind turns on a man more than the actual thing. I don't know. That's what I think so, right? I'm gonna confirm it, but I think if this is still on, it's because I looked at it and I confirmed it. So it's kind of interesting how men actually orgasm through visual images than the actual person. Men don't get turned off by sex, right? They don't, that's a myth, right? Men don't see sex as a degrading act. Men see, if she's banging the whole football team, yeah, I would totally agree. I can see how guys could see that, right? Now, are you aware of your breath? See what I'm saying? It's very easy to lose presence. Stay in the breath. And if you want to learn how to do this, you can become a Patreon member where every other week, at least once a month, we have Zoom meetings for all the Patreon members. We had a yesterday where we meditate together, and I take some of your questions and I can answer some of your questions. So if you want to join, it's a meditation kind of like Patreon. So go check it out. So yeah, men don't get turned off by quick sex. What really they get turned off is by people who are emotion, who get open, who get attached too quick. That's what actually turns them off. And the thing is that it's a correlation, because you usually say, okay, because this actually happens, right? Women will have sex quicker if she don't like the guy. A woman will take a little bit longer to have sex with a guy if she likes him. Why? Because she wants him to respect her, right? So quick sex doesn't equal respect, right? A lot of times, when a woman has sex with you quickly, it's because she don't give a fuck about what you think of her, right? So she'll do it quickly. So what's really going on is that the quick sex is really a byproduct of just you loving him too fast, too quickly. And you think that the quick sex turned him off, when in reality, it was the other things that came with the quick sex. The texting a lot, the calling a lot, wanting to see them all the time, right? But you just point to the sex and ignore all the other things you did. No, try this. I'm not telling you to do. Have a one-night stand with a guy and don't call him again and see what happens with that guy. That guy will be texting you, right? This is a fallacy perpetuated by some people, but usually religious folks, which I don't blame, right? There's merit. 1 second, people. There's actual merit to withholding sex until marriage. There really is, people. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that denies that fact, but there's actual merit to it. Men have sex with women whom they're not into. They get what they can get, right? So a man can have sex with a woman whom they're not attracted to. And women can also too, right? A lot of escorts do that, right? So men can have meaningless sex with a woman they find unbelievably unattractive. And what they do is that they just visualize a hotter girl in their minds. Sex for men is opportunistic. They will have it when they can. Evolutionarily, this is true. They're like animals. They're like hyenas. They're like vultures. They see a woman who just got heartbroken, and the instinct of every man is to try to take advantage of it. That don't mean they're going to follow through and take advantage of it. I'm just saying it's an instinct. And the good ones control that instinct. The last one is that men can have sex, but not in a relationship, right? Some women cannot have sex if they're not emotionally connected. A man can have sex willy-nilly with almost anybody who they find physically attractive, right? Because we're wired for that. The men who didn't have that wiring most likely never got passed on that gene. Men who were able to come quickly and who are willing to have sex at any moment just naturally pass on their gene better, right? I mean, like nature is not a moral police. Nature is just saying what works, even if it means taking advantage of the weak. Right? It's fucked up, but that's how it is, right? So these are the things about male nature, about sex, that you guys have to understand. Don't try to resent it. Try to work with it. Try to see what's the good thing about it. Don't just notice the negative, because it's very easy to turn cynic at male nature. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, or want to get one-on-one coaching, go to mindfulattraction.org and get one-on-one coaching. If you guys want to work with me and you guys are needy and need to get over neediness, join our Patreon. It's a meditation place, and also I teach about other dating advice, but it's a place where I talk about mostly mindfulness. Today we're going to be posting a meditation, the most powerful meditation I've ever created. I swear to God. It's called the What's Next meditation. Please, if you're on Patreon, please watch that. Please, I beg of you. This channel is meant to help people. I'm not just here to make money. I'm here to make money, but I just want to help you guys as well. Okay, so go check it out, and also coupon code 20. Coupon code 20 to get 20% off all of my courses. No, to get 20% off the psychological game of attraction and natural chemistry. And then you guys can use coupon code Alex to get, I think, 40% off Nice Girl. All right? All right, see you guys later. You see, most of the people who watch my channel are women who have good hearts, who want to help, who want to give unconditionally, and want to get in return, all you ask is unconditional love. But if you're a woman who considers herself a bitch, like an aggressive woman who's super independent, this is not the course for you. Okay, I'm gonna disqualify every woman who who has that quality and don't. This is only for nice girls. And unfortunately, there are predators out there who sense this goodness in you and try to take advantage of it. They'll disrespect you. They'll test your limits. They know you can't. They know you don't like confrontation, right? They know you don't like you. They know you don't like aggression, and so they take advantage of that fact. And this course is specifically made for those women who get disrespected for being good people, who never get anything in return for the good that they provide, right? Because a lot of the times you feel like there's nothing you could do. You've done everything. Every time you try to be nice to people, they don't respect you in return. And that disencourages you for being that good person that you actually are. This course allows you to be that nice person and not get played. It'll teach you how to confront disrespect. It'll teach you how to deal with disrespect, and it'll teach you how to send the right signals. In other words, most likely you're sending signs of weaknesses, signs that you could disrespect me and I won't retaliate. Sometimes the only way to get peace is through the potential of violence, and violence in this case doesn't mean hitting. I mean, people have to sense that you're willing to fight back. And there are non-verbal cues that you can send to people that disencourage people from taking advantage of you. So in this course, I will teach you how to identify people's aggression, how to confront people, how to deal with passive aggressive people, how to deal with emotional disrespect, how to deal with people disrespecting your time, people disrespecting you in public, people who are trying to attack your reputation, and people who are subtly attacking you, right? It'll teach you how to identify signs of weakness in others and in yourself, and it'll teach you how to send signs of strength to avoid any types of attacks on you. And if you don't like this course, and this course is a very quick course because it's only specifically made to teach you how to assert yourself. It's not meant to be it's not meant to be the Bible, people, okay? There's 30% off. No, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, just ask for your money back and I'll give it to you. No questions asked. So go check it out. And also, you could check out the free there's some free videos you could watch just to give it a test. Click, watch it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. But just watch the free video and you let me know. 30-day money back guarantee. I'll see you guys inside.